Thank you, Sue. You got your PAs, good. And then Mr. Bennett. Everybody here? Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's town board meeting. Appreciate you coming out in this nice December weather, and hopefully we didn't cause you any harm or problems last night and yesterday. When we begin tonight's meeting, it's a pledge of allegiance. Thank you very much. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'd just like to start tonight's meeting with introductions. David Haas, Eric Wolver, June Butler, Frank Zizi, Ian Silverman, Sue Wharton, DJ Boyer, and Katie Powers. And I'd just like to also say thank you very much to DJ and his crew for the fantastic job done over Thanksgiving weekend and last weekend. They were out and at all hours, and they did they did a great job cleaning up the roadways, and just complimenting them for that, especially on the weekends. Water committee?
We reviewed the bills and found them sufficient to be paid.
Thank you very much, David.
That's my motion.
Do I have a second to that motion? Frank, thank you. All those in favor of approving the audit committee's report? Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Thank you. Next item up on tonight's agenda is the public comment period. Does anyone care to come up? Please, Mr. Gressel, if you would, to the stand.
I would like to publicly thank Danny McIntyre for his service to the library on Saturday. We had a little smoke alarm problem from making some popcorn, and he was there very prompt, very courteous, very professional. He could have emptied the building, he did not. Took care of the situation and and gave me a lot of information about how to handle the fire alarm, which I never had done before, never had a reason to. So I'd just like to thank Danny for getting there and getting the situation taken care of.
And did you say that at the library?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, the library.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gressel. Anyone else? Please,
I'd like to
sir.
reserve some time on item 5B.
D's and David, right?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Next item up, town clerk minutes. Do I have a motion to approve? I'm sorry, has everyone had a chance to review the November 14, 2024 town board meeting minutes?
Make a motion to approve.
Thank you very much. I'll second the motion. All those in favor of approving the November 14, 2024 town board meeting minutes? Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? 5, 6, 7. Has everyone had a chance to review the December 5th, 2024 budget workshop meeting minutes? Thank you, David.
I'll second it.
Frank? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Okay, correspondence as of this afternoon, received 2 pieces of information. First one is from the Environmental Protection Agency, Region 2 of New York. and the administrative order that the town was under for the past 4 quarters because of the THM and HAS monitoring, failing to meet the monitoring requirements. The 4th quarter results put us under for the full year, thereby the administrative order has been lifted effective immediately, and this letter is proof of that, and it's on display up in Town Hall. I compliment Chuck Golden crew for staying on top of it and making sure that we did pass on that, especially in the 4th quarter when it was tight because of the weather fluctuations and the effect on the THMs. And the other little item that we did receive today was just a letter from Assemblyman Bennett saying that he was working with the various towns there if we need them, and he gave his number, and a couple of the members of his staff numbers are there also. That was a new correspondence that we received. Okay, next item up is the liaison reports. Planning board?
Sure.
Thank you, Laura.
Okay, so we had a public hearing last week for the little pizzeria place that Ian Duncan, who, I don't know if it's his parents or he owns the fresh market, so very positive response. It was approved, we did the seeker, and then we had Callahan come in with regards to the permit, and I think that was all resolved as well.
Thank you much. Any questions by members of the board?
Yeah, just on the Callahan one, were they actually saying we're not gonna dig, so we just wanna let you know? Is that kind of what that was? We wanna leave a berm,
Well, they want the berm there.
but just to
because-
leave it.
Just to leave it.
I don't remember ever hearing about a mining company saying, we would like to tell you that we're not gonna mine.
Well, I don't think they're,
That was kind of like what it seemed like.
no, I say I did not take it that way. What I
Okay.
thought they were doing is we're not gonna remove the berm, so we now have no noise, no way of blocking our noise and the work that we're doing for the residents who live around it. So that's what it was.
If they left the berm in place, it would block the noise.
Right,
So it was a good thing.
right,
It was in response to the DEC.
right,
Okay, got it. It just seemed to a lot to me. I was just.
Planning board had to give approval to not destroy.
right, not to take down the berm, and we were fine with them leaving it, and they were fine with leaving it.
Sure, makes sense. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
Yep.
Okay, next item up, zoning board. Tim, please.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
No, currently we have 2 area variance applications in front of the board. One is Draco Dennis at 399 Snyder's Corners Road. The second is for Mr. Dan Sanchez at 4 William Street. Currently, both are scheduled for public hearings this coming week, or next week, I should say. And currently, that's it. That's everything on the table.
Thank you very much, Tim. Any questions by any member of the board? No, thank you, Tim. Next item up is the fire company, and Don was gracious enough to give us a summary financial report for the month of November. Any other comments?
I haven't been around.
I know. It's unfair of me to ask since you've been on vacation,
Yeah.
but thank you very much. Next item up, we have the library. Mr. Grissom's
For the month of November, we had a total of 697 visits, and they borrowed 1,259 physical items and 768 digital items. Program highlights, the Saturday craft program has been very popular. We've also handed out 24 Thanksgiving-themed take-home craft gifts. Okay, the teams, the Bat Box, which is books and treats subscription box, has been very consistent. We had 6 teams take care of it, took part in November. The adults, the Let's Dish Holiday Cookies with Love and Sprinkles Bake Shop was filled to capacity. And attendees enjoyed learning and experimenting with cookie decorating techniques using royal icing and buttercream frosting. Let's Dish has been very popular over the months. Been really good. Upcoming attractions, not a whole bunch. On the 18th, this coming Wednesday, we have the winter solstice celebration. Registration is required. And the first Thursday of each month is Check It Out Book Club. In January, they'll be discussing Playing for Pizza by John Grisham. And the second Tuesday of each month is Fibers and Friends, Fiber Art Meetup for teens and adults. And a little note, the library will be closed on 12/24 and 12/25. And it will be closed at 5 o'clock on 12/31. And we'll open back up on 1/2. That's it.
Thank you very much, Ed. Okay, next item up, we have the youth advisory. Kara has been a heavy activity back end of November following the Halloween parade in December, but she is working on researching software billing options for next summer's camp, and will report back to try and take some of the load or some of the payment load out of the town clerk's office. And then the next item was CAC, and Greg sent a report. We plan to meet in January of 2025 to discuss the tentative goals and objectives from the draft comprehensive plan related to the CAC's mission. They did not meet in November. Okay, the next item up then on the discussion items is the 2025 Library Services Agreement. Which goes over the various points that the library has to provide to the residents, and also the obligation the town has to the library.
Are there any notable differences between this year and last year?
Only the amount of $81,290.
The amount of money,
Yes,
but other than that,
no, sir.
Isn't that usually stated in here how much? Right? We have that.
Okay. Sure. But no change from previous years, except for the non-one.
I have a question though. Didn't they just get like $10,000 or $15,000 from the taxpayers? And then now there's an additional increase?
This is included.
That is including it?
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Wasn't there a prompt at November
Yeah.
for,
Yes,
for how much?
10,000.
And then that's in addition to,
no,
The
the
increase?
81 includes the intent.
Yeah,
yeah.
That is
It was 71 now, too.
71.
just curious.
Okay, the next item up, budget transfer truck lease payment on the 55,296.36, which we have discussed previously a little bit, and it was approved 4 years ago. This is the last payment. This is the last of the 4 payments. Correct, BJ?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just simply paying the truck a few weeks early, not sure what we're doing. No discussion, but
Right, that's what we're just trying to do. Being gracious enough to take the money out of the general and put it towards the equipment payment end for this, to make this truck payment. Next item up, we have budget transfers. Primarily in the water department. Okay, there was a $5,800 transfer request, budget transfer request from general affairs in the silver number 4. And then,
So what were some of the?
okay, water contingency, water billing equipment, primarily antennas and so on, that had to be bought. And that was the primary reason in the water billing equipment. Water lab fees had gone, cost had gone up, and that's the reason for the change there. And then, 7,025 has to cover the water purchase deficit, and then $300 from water admin and admin contractual to water admin maintenance. And then water truck repairs because of the brakes and muffler and resonator costs. That was the reason for $450. And then the $2,100 on data, from data processing to data processing contractual to cover software and Mike's additional work that he had to do. And then the last one was $150 additional to cover chlorine costs that we had to go out and purchase.
How much money do we normally have in the contingency?
$20,000. Okay. Okay, the next item up is discussion of ARPA funds. Dispersals. We revised that some from the last meeting. Some of the changes. The propane burner system came in 11,500. Pickup generators, additional $900 on a propane tank. And there was discussion last time around about possibilities of air purifier. We've gone here in the meeting room, looked at different possibilities, and one possibility is to cover this size of room, came in at $1,749.
One thing on that, Tom. I did track down, or trying to track down Lee's contact. We've been playing phone tag. So you've done better than I have. You've gotten 2 quotes. I've got 0 so far, but I'll keep it in mind and I'll share it with the board when I get it, and we can, make a decision later, right? Because this is the money that you're setting aside for this type of purchase, right?
Yes, sir. Right.
I've been back and forth. We just haven't connected.
Okay, Mike Noble brought it back up to 100 to assist in migration and changing over various services that we have. And in the town hall landscaping, that got reduced. That's going to be in-house work. The young child riders with freight was reduced because the freight went down a little bit. And then we're also looking at a low noise air conditioning unit in the clerk's office to allow them to work. The other ones we had were very loud and difficult to hear over.
I'm still against the landscaping. They were quoting trees, shrubs, then you have like maintenance for that, who's gonna take care of it and everything. I would set some aside for decorative plants down the road for around the town hall or the monument or whatever we wanted to do, not $4,300.
Okay, that was, all right, that was to cover product, stone costs and so on. Again, that was strictly for the house.
But the original one you just took off, like the DJ's gonna be able to rip.
Yeah,
items out.
we can do all landscaping, it's not a big deal, so all you gotta do is supply them whatever
But
flag.
materials.
Materials you need.
So is that what the 4,500 is, just the materials?
Yes, right now.
So we wouldn't be contracting it out at all?
No.
I'm not
No.
saying that
DJ was gracious enough to,
4,300.
So it's not going back to Pelletier?
no,
Okay,
DJ
nobody told
was-
us that.
DJ was gracious enough to offer his services and his crew services to go through it.
Okay,
Okay, that's,
I thought we were still talking about shrubs and trees.
no, we're primarily looking at stone right now.
Okay.
I mean, digging that out, some topsoil barrier underneath to prevent weed grow up, and then good quality stone to go all around.
Okay.
To make it look good. That's what we're looking at. Next question, please.
The library, I'm just gonna ask for what, how did that come about? Because we had talked about, doing the park, since that was like what people wanted to see most, putting more money in there. And then the library wasn't on there before, so I don't know what items you're.
That was, okay, that was a possible option. They had presented their thoughts. We can go back and try and find something else for the park.
Is this number just the difference between the,
Yes, sir.
okay, so it's really the possible options, this is the amount that there is, and then the
That's what I said.
library, and I guess the air filtration unit would be another,
I'm sorry, what?
the air filtration.
Air filtration? Okay,
Because I don't,
that would be, that's 1, 2, 3, 7,000.
that,
Okay, so those are suggestions, and numbers that I've come up with. We can continue to drill down through it.
Now, what happens if we negotiate better prices on some of this stuff than we think, and we have extra money? Is there any allowable contingency kind of thing with this, or not really?
What do you mean by?
Well, let's say that something comes in at, $5,000 less than what we had budgeted. We have to assign this money this year and spend it next year. What if we get better deals so that we have leftover money? What happens then? Just give it back? Or we have to make sure that we use it or lose it?
We do our best to use it instead of losing it.
I think though we can transfer in between things, so if something came in less,
But
then we could.
we have
if
the
something
right.
came in more.
Then something else.
Yeah, right, for example, okay, for example,
No, I understand.
and then, okay, say the propane tank, but that's, just an example. That can then, to a less effective money could be transferred over later on.
Got it.
Just as long as it's obligated upfront and we report. I tried to give everybody a copy of Mr. Levenbauer's sheets, a copy of the air conditioner, and 2 copies on the air purifiers that would fit into this room down here. There were smaller units, but they were more for small residential rooms, and then I shied away from those.
I think we wanted to ask something.
Okay, the next item.
Oh, I was, if we're still on ARPA, if I could just say a few things. Because we're in discussion. Just 2 weeks ago, I came across a file on my computer that was titled mailer information, and I opened it up, and long story short was what I realized back in 2022, after we had our public events and we talked to residents, asked them what they wanted us to do with the ARPA money. We actually spent money to send out mailers, right, to inform folks of those events. And that initial mailer, we sent out 901 mailers. Almost 200 of them were dupes, where we sent more than one to the same address. And one of the things that I had shared with the board back then, because I sent an email back on March 30th of 2022, was that we only invited about 28% of the town when we sent that mailer out. So I had sent an email to the town and said, we really ought to invite the entire town. We ought to do another mailer, and we ought to have at least another public hearing or two so that we can truly get everybody's insight. That board chose not to do that. So in the information that was on this sheet, I noted that 46 streets in town received the mailer to invite them to come to the open houses, primarily the mountain and the hamlet. 72 streets in town did not, and I shared this with the board at the time, did not receive any invitation. That included, all of 355, Route 66, South Gotham Beach Road in the Estates, Bosburg, Quail Meadows, parts of the mountain, and Spring Ave. So just to give you an understanding. So, we invited about 35% of the town to these events. We asked them what they wanted us to do with this money, and then we didn't do any of the things they wanted us to do with this money. So I just feel like as we're putting the bow on this project years later, it was interesting that I came across that because we kind of stumbled out of the gates right away, and I don't think we ever really got our handle on it. When we got this money, I had said to the board, we got to treat this money the way it is, which is a one-time shot in the arm. Dave actually made the comment at the time, we shouldn't take this money. He added, good point, because it's money and what are we going to do with it, right? We asked people's input. They told us exactly what they wanted. We delivered nothing to them, what they wanted. Now, what's interesting about the mailer was that when I had asked the question back in March of 2022, how much money did we spend on this? The answer was about $600, which would have been about 67 cents a mailer, which isn't terrible, not great, but it's not terrible. But then we found out later that it wasn't $600 to mail that. It was actually $1,600 to mail those things. So we spent $1,600. The first thing we bought with ARPA money, we spent $1,600 to mail out 901 mailers, of which 196 were dupes. So 22% of them was a waste of money. And at $1,600, you're talking $1.78 per mailer, which is, you could get 2 or 3 mailers at that price. And when you talk about the mistake that we made, it cost about $350 to have those dedupes. And the public hearing, we heard folks, they wanted an ambulance, they wanted a town park, they wanted increased internet access. And, we certainly have done very little on those things. And I don't think we've really done much with the town park or the town space, what we're calling it. And I shared, so again, look, I'm not here to criticize. I just want to explain the facts of the case here, right? So it's easy. It would be easy to criticize and just say what it was, but I took it upon myself to send an email to the then town board in October 2022, and I came up with 12 ideas on how I thought we could spend the money on top of all the ideas we heard from the residents. And I shared that with Tom after the election, when he won the election. And all of my 12 ideas, for what it's worth, point number 5 was 4 ideas on how we could do renovations to the town hall, and one of them was a new boiler. So we're getting a new boiler. So I guess that's an accomplishment. Although I will note that a couple of months ago, when we were sitting here trying to figure out what to do with the last $120,000, I said, don't we need a new boiler? Because I remember Dominic saying we need a new boiler when he was here. And I was told, oh, no, the boiler's great, it'll last another 20 years. So I kind of thought that was odd, and now we're buying a new boiler. So that's just important to note. I just think all in all, $452,000, we could have done something with this, the transformative amount of money. At the time, I said we should try to spend this amount of money on things that aren't things that normally town taxpayers spend money on. And I don't think we've done anything in that case. We paved a couple of dead-end roads. We bought some plow blades. We bought some office furniture. We put away some extra money for staff on projects that may or may not be necessary. I think the worst mistake we made was we spent $2,500 on basketball hoops to put at the elementary school. I don't know how one taxing entity gives away money to another taxing entity when the other taxing entity has a significantly higher budget than we do. But I mean, the point here is, and I'll try to wrap it up here, just, this is just a missed opportunity. We asked for input, but basically we failed the plan, and when you fail the plan, your plan fails. So those are some of the thoughts I wanted to share.
I don't see it as like that at all and stuff. I mean, you've set money aside for the comprehensive plan to clean the garage. You did Rikers Farm for that,
Which,
so there's been other things. I will agree with you and stuff that, out of like the townhome, the meetings that were done, that the park was top of the list. So that was my thought for adding more to the park, because those three items right now only total $5,011. And I think it is important for the town hall to be updated. And we knew about the oil tanks and replacing them a long time ago, so I think that's good. I think a generator is absolutely a great idea. And the town hall needs to be painted.
you guys didn't buy basketball hoops with that money either. The
That
Wade
was wrong.
family donated the funds to purchase those hoops, so that wasn't paid for with ARPA funds.
Time was donated to line and put the lines on and everything too.
And then we installed the hoops. Highway did.
I guess, there's still $120,000 on the table. What would you suggest?
I'd suggest we extend the water district two on Ford Road with it.
How much is it?
But we can't. We cannot. Randy said that too, back in the spring early on, because it being a certain area of town.
Well, you can make a water district, I'm not saying the existing project, I'm saying you can make water district three to extend that. I'm not saying that's part of this project, but that would be a better use of $120,000.
You're not gonna be able to do that
Then-
for $120,000.
To just get the Ford Road, I think you could do it for $120,000. Easily, just the Ford Road. But I mean, look at it, we had $450,000, and the biggest purchase we made was to plow 3 dead-end roads in town. So if you look at one of those 3 dead-end roads, you probably see a value in that. Yeah, we spent the money on the bridge for Rikers Farm, which was necessary. Spent a next decent amount of chunk on money on the water district too, which, sure. But that would have still left $250,000. And at the end of the day, what did we do with this money other than those couple things? We bought some stuff that town taxpayers could have paid for anyways, or normally in a normal year would have paid for anyways. We missed our opportunity.
I wouldn't say we missed opportunities. We're trying to take care of some things now. And as far as paving the roads go, yeah, that was very important. Took advantage of it, took advantage of the money, I think, in beneficial ways to the town. Wasn't squirreled away and wasted it all.
So I guess this question for Ian. We can't use the ARPA funds for the water district. So that's off the table. That's not an opportunity.
No.
The other thing I want to mention is what happened to my carpet cleaning.
That's getting done the 27th.
So it's
And
not
there's-
coming out of here
No.
anymore?
Nope, it's not coming out here because they're doing these chairs, the carpet upstairs and downstairs. And they're coming in and doing it on that Monday, right? That Monday following Christmas or something?
27th and 30.
Okay, I'm sorry, the Friday following, that's right. The Friday, they're coming in and making this much better.
Okay, so we don't have to, that's not going to be allocated
No.
out here.
So they're taking care of that.
So then we just have to talk about like the balance,
Yes,
56, 59.
yes. We can work on, see what more we can do. As far as
When the library talked about getting some of this money, they did have some pretty practical needs, such as replacing some computers.
Yeah, I'm looking at the proposal and 5 all-in-one computers, $899 a piece, a handicap door opener, community resources, hearing loops, some of these we just don't have the money for. The hearing loops are 6,200, but a few computers or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, some of the other stuff is very worthwhile.
I thought that and internet access seemed to be one of those things, so that would be okay. And then maybe bulk up the, put a line for other items associated with the YOLO picnic tables and.
To the park.
Does the line that says that, the obligated funds in 114,806, does that include the things that haven't been spent yet, but were already voted on? Like the money for Riker's Farm Bridge that we haven't touched yet,
No, that does not include that at all.
but that's accounted for?
Yes, sir. That was, yeah, we had to put a report in, and that,
No, I'm just making sure,
Yeah, that-
before they go voting on it, because it's not on the sheet, it's all, so
Yeah,
it
that-
looks a little gray.
120 is the unobligated funds, everything
No,
else.
I
is
get the
obligated.
unobligated, but that one was already obligated for, I just don't see it. I just want to make sure it didn't get missed. Because so far to date, everything on that bridge design has been paid for out of the highway budget. We haven't touched any of the ARPA funds for the back half of the design yet. So I didn't want that to get missed.
We probably should get that together for what had already been allocated. Doesn't have a list of
I've
that
seen
one.
It's definitely.
Yeah.
Where it has the other
yes, okay, right, I had, that was
320,000.
all broken out.
It's like
I had that
obligated,
much
not
from
spent.
my-
Yeah, 'cause
November
like some of the
14th.
things Eric said, we'd already spent, so like obviously that's already done and gone, but that one we haven't touched yet, so.
Right, it's allocated,
Right.
but unspent.
It's the same thing with the comprehensive plan, it just keeps getting whittled away there and everything, but yeah. That is still full. And then
Right, I'll have that, I have that upstairs in my November packet, just that, everything, so I'll have that to everybody tomorrow morning.
So we're gonna be able to vote on this tonight, or are there gonna be substantial changes?
The only change would be down towards the bottom on that 5659. If we want, we can reduce the landscaping, but again, I was trying to figure for all materials, to make sure that we had enough materials there. The other items towards the top, generator, propane tank, oil tank extraction, those items are pretty much locked in. Eric asked for another day or so for the air purifier.
Yeah, but the price would not be substantially different.
It's already, it's allocated.
Right, as long as it's allocated, we're good, and then you can choose from different vendors later on.
Okay.
I say we leave them out for the library and then let them take the most important things that they want.
I still think we should have one for the park.
All right? How much?
Okay, so say like.
Let's cut a deal.
the-
Wait, okay, hold on.
So say like the library, the handicap door opener, that's 1,898.
Maybe,
Plus the installation.
maybe Ed, would you have a comment on these?
Would you like them all?
I know, well.
We're high on here.
I'm not familiar with the actual proposal or what needs to be done.
Okay.
It's just ideas that were brought up.
Okay.
Presented to you.
You said something about computers earlier, Frank?
Yeah, it's the first line item there.
That's like
Our public computers
$4,500.
are very old, very old. They're probably not even run Windows 8, I wouldn't think.
Well, how much do you want to put towards the?
Couple thousand more.
For what? What are you gonna spend it on?
Possibly some more material. I mean, DJ has offered to use the topsoil from supplied in-house. I've talked to Jeff
You don't have anything here for
Yeah.
anything other than a couple tables, picnic tables,
And riders.
right?
Because we still need to flatten that all, take everything down.
What were you saying about topsoil?
Okay,
The topsoil, we're talking about supplying houses for here. You were gonna buy the topsoil from a local vendor
right.
for the town park.
Right, Mr. Polero offered to get that for 26 ton or whatever in our trucks, okay? But as far as the brush hogging and surface preparation,
I mean, we have all the equipment to do it, so it's hard for you to allocate money. I don't see where you're gonna spend it. You
Right,
already have
so if
highway
it's
guys. you have-
material,
Yeah.
what material do we need? And how much is that gonna cost?
okay, $26 a ton on the topsoil.
How many tons do you need?
I have to take some measurements.
Right.
Right, and then protective material for covering up, couple truckloads, maybe one or two truckloads of,
Stone?
no, not, I was thinking of for underneath the riders, some.
Oh, that you have to be careful about, because there's all kinds of regulations.
Right.
Things like wood chips, there has to be a certain, underneath playground equipment is like a whole new thing now.
I mean, the school gets all that stuff from Valenti Lumber. It's just plain wood chips, doesn't have any dye or chemicals in it. It's just,
There has to be a certain depth, right?
oh, I'm sure there's probably some
Yeah,
that,
all kinds of
that,
specs.
yeah.
So that's wood chips, then,
That's what I was,
Oh.
the
well, if
research.
she's gonna donate it, we'll squeeze them.
I mean, if you guys are looking to actually increase the town park, I think materials isn't the way to go. If you're gonna try to do something, structure, or more tables, or more equipment for kids to play on. I mean, materials, it seems like such a cheap avenue to go. You're not gonna gain a lot of traction with funds,
We could go with additional riders and possibly go with a few more tables.
especially if you got contractors that are donating stuff, you know. Seems like you should go a different route than the materials, just my
I
opinion.
get some more, kids toys.
Yeah, they are readily available.
What do you think, June?
You could do that.
How much? How much is each one of those things?
Okay, now each one of those riders costs $490,
$500 a piece? Get a couple more then.
Would additional table or two be available?
Yes. On the subject of the town park, is there any consideration towards security, lighting, electrical supplies required for such poles, things of this nature?
Not at present time.
It was probably gonna be closed at night, right?
I think the gates have been closed.
Because with the neighbors
Yeah.
didn't want.
It was more or less.
It's just during the fall time.
Daytime, we're not looking to put any electrical into there right yet.
You're gonna have light pollution.
What is the situation?
Remember they had to remove the lights from the Little League field?
What do you think about taking two out of that, 2,000 in there, and running two more and another table or two, something like that?
Now we're dealing.
Trying to get there. It's-
I know.
Quick
Now we're
date.
wheeling and dealing. This is good.
Let's say like the handicapped door opener is, say like $2,000 to the library.
And the computers.
If you've ever had to open one of those doors, if you're in a wheelchair, you're gonna have a problem
That seems to be,
with the main door or the door going into the actual library.
So you're saying you can't do that?
no, he would like to do that.
No, that's why we want.
Oh,
That's a priority.
Because if
That
they're
would be-
open.
that would be one of your priorities.
Maybe
The door.
that and two computers would be someplace in the middle of this.
18 to 18.
Yeah.
36.
And then 2,000 for that.
So if we said like two computers and the handicap door opener, that's like 36, and like 2 could go to art.
How much did you come up with?
Okay. Let's see. 98, and there's $1,000 in there. Two more than $1,000. And 50 tables, the cost that you gave me
Correct,
is going to stay, right?
correct.
Thank you, sir.
And they're going to be woven into the training program for the kids from Algonquin School. So it's part of the skilled arts training program.
Okay, but on the
Those
regular
computers,
table,
library, computers.
that was like 550?
Whatever that price was.
Yeah,
I
okay,
quoted
that's
already.
what it showed.
It's supposed to say handicap.
And that basically just covers
And
the
then this
materials and a
would be
little
for
overhead.
tables and
He's told them what they put in things.
Okay, so add on the table and 2 of the riders. Looking at 1,600 there. Maybe another 1,700 with the additional freight. So 1,700 total.
that's the tables and the.
That's it, that's it.
Okay, and I've got,
Okay, 3, okay, so we had 2 tables.
So let's say like If we-
100.
Frank had 36, let's say, for the library, right?
Yeah.
So 36 from the library, if we just subtract 36 from the 5659.
Okay, this is 2,059. Okay,
yeah. That seems to,
thank you.
you can add like the library handicap access door as a separate line and computers as a separate line. It's easy.
Okay, computers are how much each?
899.
900?
So we have 2 of those.
Those are workstations, I'm assuming, not laptops, right?
All in ones, yeah.
And the handicap door closer was,
It was like
19.
19.
So with these changes,
37.
we probably can at least entertain a vote on it today, correct?
okay, you come up with 3,700? So you have.
Yeah. Yes. There's that.
Okay,
Tom, am I correct to understand that you're on library right now? You're on library, yes?
we're going back and forth between a couple right now.
Has there been any funding appropriated for the repair or the replacement of the long outdoor hand railing, which is badly rusted at the bottom?
Thank you.
I recall from a year or two ago, I think there was some discussion about having that repaired, but I believe that there's been no action taken on it.
That is something that could come out of just normal buildings budget that we have for the town next year. Because I think somebody talked about having a welder, local guy, do some welding or something, painting. I don't think it was a big deal. I don't think it's a deal breaker.
Rusting out in a number of places.
Yeah. I don't think that should be a deal breaker for this.
It does need to be looked into though, because the way that the way that it's anchored into the concrete does not really lend itself to any kind of just cleanly cutting it off and reattaching or applying repair pieces. It looks as though it's going to require some digging into the concrete and replacement of the area where the original steel is fixed into the concrete. So it's not a job where you send Junior out to do housework. It needs some looking into.
Well, as I understand it, the library's maintenance as a building and all is under the budget of the town as a part of our buildings. So if we have to do maintenance, we do maintenance.
All right, so you'd be agreeable to having that
Well,
done.
next year, as part of our normal,
Outside of
Preventive
our,
maintenance, so to speak.
yeah, normal stuff we do. I don't know that it has to be ARPA money per se, town budget.
yeah, I think we're just close to getting extra tables and riders and
Yeah.
computers and the doors. Those are all one-time
Right.
things. Makes sense, we should probably. Vote on this.
Okay, so we're gonna go with 2 computers, $900 a piece, is that what you said? Okay, the handicap door closer slash opener for 1,900, okay. So that's gonna be roughly,
19.
1,900 to go towards the court. Okay.
And we'll vote on doing action items.
Any other line items?
Just to confirm with Mike Noble though, that Eric talked about and everything with streaming for down here, that is included in.
268. Yep, it's very, very important. And one of the new laptops that we're getting in is gonna replace that gym right over there. Thank you very much, everybody. Okay, the next item,
Reserve some time.
what?
I have reserved. I reserved some time on that.
Okay, I'm sorry, I put you down for a 6, excuse me. You wanted 5, I put you down for item 6. My bad.
Okay.
Okay, excuse me. Please.
New Basil, another drive. Been a lot of discussion on the ARPA money and everything. Can the town produce a sheet of paper for accountability of all the money that's been spent? Is it gonna be earmarked
Okay,
and taken out to the public?
I can have it for you tomorrow.
Money?
I can have it for you tomorrow.
Well, not just me, but
Yeah,
there should be, an accountability that the public can
there is,
read. So
there is,
for all the money?
except for what's on here.
Well, yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'd like to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, the next item up is the audit review for town court for both Judge Cronow and Judge Slavin. Felicia was gracious enough to go over the activity for the month of November for each one, and I'm going to try to supply each of the board members a copy of the audit that was done. And we did one earlier in the year, I think April or thereabouts. And then this report, has to go into our town board minutes, and in turn, we have to turn these into the state with the recognition that it was reviewed by the town board. Something has to be done, I guess, twice a year. We took some time Monday night and into it. All right, and then the last item up on the discussion items is Katie Powers and Brandon Harris, standard workday reporting information. The work time sheets are included, and this has to be reported to the New York State Local Retirement System. Katie's information is listed, as is Brandon. Katie's full-time administrative assistant. Brandon is on the planning board, and the difference is on one note here on Brandon, it's 0.54 hours per day, not 6, because of his time from the planning board based on the numbers that he had given. But that is being reported, and Katie's is 8.
First resolution?
Well, with items, thank you very much. First item, approved resolution to accept 2025.
What number is it, Sue?
30.
30?
Thank you, sir.
So, resolution authorizing the town of Poestenkill to enter into a library, services agreement with the Poestenkill Library, whereas the Poestenkill and the Poestenkill Library have previously entered into an agreement entitled Library Services Agreement dated April 17, 2024, for the purpose of providing library services to the residents of the town of Poestenkill. Excuse me. And whereas the previous library service agreement is set to expire on December 31st, 2024, and it is necessary to continue to provide the residents of the town of Poestenkill the library services to extend the library services agreement through December 31st, 2025. Now therefore, let it be ordered and resolved that the town of Poestenkill is hereby authorized to execute a library services agreement consistent with the terms with the attached agreement with the Poestenkill Library for the purpose of providing library services to the residents of the town of Poestenkill. I so move.
I'll second the motion. All those in favor of approving the I'm sorry, Susan.
Councilman Butler?
Yes.
Councilman Brazili?
Yes.
Councilman House?
Yes.
Councilman Oliver?
Yes.
Supervisor Russell?
Yes, please. Okay, next item up. Approving monies for the truck lease payment of $55,296.36. Paying the 2025 payment a couple of weeks early. Take advantage of the money that's currently in the budget.
Do we need a motion for that? Yes.
Yeah.
So moved.
I'll second. All those in favor of making the truck lease payment of $55,296.36 through the budget transfers?
I'll be a no.
Okay, and you are opposed?
Yep.
Okay, anyone abstaining?
Don't we have to read the rest? This is resolution number 31.
Sorry.
Are we gonna read that?
Let's see. That's how we have it.
Does anybody have it?
I'm sorry.
I don't think
Please, 31 you said?
Yes.
Who has it?
I don't think I have it.
I don't have it.
We talked about this time, that we didn't need
Yeah.
a resolution, that we had already approved.
That's right.
That's
That's
right.
right. 4 years.
Earlier. So all we need to do is do the budget transfer.
So that's the,
Okay, we're approving the budget
Question was
transfer.
earlier why it was set up the next budget transfer.
so we don't need to do a resolution. My error on that, excuse me.
So we need
I
to,
initially put it in, thinking we needed a resolution to make sure it was squaring up. And then Ian, and DJ and Ian clued me in, and I tried to take the resolutions out, and unfortunately,
so we'll do the budget transfer at the budget
Please.
transfer section of the meeting. We don't have to do that yet, because that comes out after the reports according to your agenda.
okay, thank you very much. Okay. Next item is a resolution approving the Poestenkill Town Court November audit by the town board and entering into town board meeting minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you very much. A resolution, assume.
So this is
That'll be
resolution
31.
51.
Thank you, sir.
I just need that, okay.
Thank you.
Resolution acknowledging receipt of court records and dockets from the Poestenkill Town Justices and confirming the town board has examined such records. Whereas section 2019-1 of the Uniform Justice Act requires that the town justices annually provide records and dockets to the auditing board of the town, and that such records then be examined and in fact be entered into the minutes of the board's proceedings. Whereas the town justices have provided their court records and dockets to the town board, whereas the town board has examined such records, and it is further ordered and resolved that it shall be entered into the minutes of the board that the town justices have provided their court records and dockets to the town board, and such records have been examined by the town board. And I'm offering this resolution.
Second?
Thank you, David. All those in favor?
Councilman Butler,
I'm sorry.
Councilwoman Butler,
Yes.
Councilman Jersey,
Yes.
Councilman Haas,
Yes.
Councilman Oliver,
Yes.
Supervisor Russell.
Yes, please.
We need a resolution for the budget transfers. It's next on your list.
We add a line.
I
We just talked about that.
Okay, I think we do need a resolution on this, on the other budget transfers, don't we?
Which,
You made it part of it.
we have a series of them, which one specifically?
That,
This is 5,000 for the truck. Do you want to throw it here? Is that the question?
no, check, Ian, for the resolution on the budget, for the standard budget transfer, starting at 5,800 and going down to the 150.
Yes.
We-
We do have a resolution for that.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, right.
Should they add in like they were
Yes,
saying
it
the
should be amended to add
55,000?
in the budget transfer for the truck.
So the first
It's not
item,
already included.
we can make it 55, 296, 36. Okay. I can read this torturous thing.
Thank you, David.
Which resolution is this?
32.
32. Resolution authorizing budget transfers, whereas it being necessary for the continued operation of town business, certain budget transfers are necessary. And now, therefore, be it resolved, that the town Poestenkill budget is hereby amended as set forth below. $55,000, $296.36 from DA 5110.1 to DA 5130.2 truck lease purchase. $5,800 from 251104 general repairs 4 to 251424 snow removal 4. $5,500 from 19904 water contingency to 83102 water billing equipment. $950 from 19904 water contingency to 832,042 water lab fees. $7,025 from 19904 water contingency to 832,043 water purchase. $300 from 83104 water admin contractual to 831,043 water admin maintenance. $450 from 831,044.1 water truck fuel to 831044 water truck maintenance, $2,100 from 11682 data processing equipment to 116,804 data processing contract, $150 from 19904 water contingency to 834041 chlorine. So moved.
I'll second.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, David.
I just earned my pay.
As you did, David.
Councilwoman Butler,
Yes.
Councilman DeZizi,
Yes.
Councilman Haas,
Yes.
Councilman Wallaber, Supervisor Russell.
Yes, please.
You want me to read resolution 33?
You get to use it.
Yeah.
Number 33.
Is that right? 33?
Which one is 33?
Oh, the standard working hours?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
no, that's not right. Okay. Must be 33.
Dave was just 32, right?
Yes, so that's 33.
So resolution establishing standard workday, whereas the New York State and local employees retirement system requires that a standard workday is established for retirement credit purposes. Whereas in order to be in full compliance with regulations 315.4, legislative action is warranted. Now let it therefore be resolved that the town of Poestenkill does hereby establish the following standard workdays for appointed officials and will report the following standard workday to the New York State and local employees retirement system. Secretary Catherine Powers, 8 hours. Planning board alternate member Brandon Harris, 0.54 hours. Now let it therefore be resolved that a certified copy of this resolution is to be posted on the town's website pursuant to the rules promulgated by the New York State Comptroller, and a copy shall be transmitted by the town clerk to the Rensselaer County Commissioner of Personnel and the State Comptroller. I so move.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Eric.
Councilwoman Butler,
Yes.
Councilman DeZizi,
Yes.
Councilman Haas,
Yes.
Councilman Wallaber,
Yes.
Supervisor Russell.
Yes, please. Okay, next item up. Obligation of the approved revised ARPA funds items for distribution.
So do we have to have that formalized?
Yes, you should, yes.
So,
I missed the question.
so we have to generate a resolution.
Resolution. Okay,
We can do that between now and the end of the year.
okay.
You plan on having a meeting the 30th, on the end of the year?
Yes, by the April 30th. I'm sorry, December 30th. Start the year a little late, whole lot late. Yes, by December 30th. Thank you very much.
So we'll do a resolution on the 30th.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, now we move to the report section. Supervisor's report. Had the pleasure of attending planning and zoning board meetings, comprehensive plan workshops that were held at the firehouse and East Poestenkill Baptist Church, library, and fire company were gracious enough to let me come in and attend their meetings. June and I attended an RPA dinner meeting with other municipal leaders who have land on the plateau. There's been resident interaction. One of the fun events was the Cub Scout Pack invited me to one of their meetings, and it was question and answer time on the floor with the kids. It was different. Numerous conversations with Ian, town attorney, who was gracious enough to listen and put up with me. Appreciate that. Solicited bids from various vendors regarding repair work at town hall, and interaction with Sue, DJ, Steph, Tracy, Chuck, Lindsay, Katie, Michelle, and Diane, along with the board members. Most appreciative of that.
I continue to work closely with Supervisor Russell on all legal matters affecting the town. We adjourned into executive session, a couple of matters that I will brief the board members on, but for now, that's it.
During the month of November, the town clerk took in $12,875.25. Of that amount, $11,779.47 was turned over to the supervisor.
I move that we accept the town clerk's report.
I second that motion. All those in favor of accepting the town clerk's December report?
Aye.
All those opposed? Anyone abstaining? 5-0. Okay, the assessor's report. Michelle gave a report, and we will begin mailing exemption removal forms in December. These removal exemptions include the senior, disability, and nonprofit and clergy exemptions. Our office will also be contacting the fire company to provide a current certification list for the past year. Previous exemption applicants don't need to reapply. The 2025 assessment roll exemption filing deadline is March 1st, 2025, for all exemptions. Please note, residents will have the option to return the required exemption forms and documentation either by mail, in person, or utilize the town drop box outside our door. The assessor's office continues to routinely process new deeds and parcel split or merger documents received from the county. We continue to process exemption applications and closed building permits. The real property system is updated as needed. And probably the most important thing on here, the 2025 assessment roll exemption filing deadline is March 1st, 2025 for all exemptions. Thank you. Water managers report. Is here.
Good evening, board. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. Thank you.
Average usage per day was 115,010.6 gallons. We took 48 gallons of sodium hypochlorite. We used to sanitize that amount of water. Monthly coliform tests were all negative for the month of November. We had another intentional pump shutdown on beginning of the month, November 1st. Was spurred by the Brunswick water operator calling me to alert me of turbidity in his system. We shut down and stopped migration into our system. He didn't call in time because we did have users that were affected along Spring Avenue. I did the shutdown and Rob did the startup, which requires some questions prior to that, thanks to Rob. And I also pointed out that this could not happen at the worst time because the mandated sample time for disinfection byproducts was November 2nd, which I took those samples on November 4th. And to just give you a little precursor on the next month's meeting, we hit it out of the park. The THM numbers and the THA numbers were really low. And we've also got the exemption from the administrative order from the EPA. So we're no longer operating under the administrative order. So that was great news. 6 dig locates were formed month of November, and 10 replacement got off to a good start, but slowed down as of late. I would like the board to pass a resolution that there will be a 10% surcharge on the estimated bill if the resident goes 2 billing cycles without allowing the antenna replacement. I have reconsidered that. I wrote this right after I got back, after putting Post-it notes and banging on doors, and I was a little irate. So there may be better ways to go about this. We've taken the new readings for the last quarter, and we came up, I think the number was 47 of no reads. So we're starting to get the Sue has gotten the bills out with a letter that says, please call, because we didn't get any readings. We had to estimate their bill. So we usually are pretty busy after that. It's going to be kind of different as how the holidays play into that. If people wait till after the holidays, but those bills have gone out, right, Sue? And those notes are in there, so we'll see who gives us a call back. Disinfectant byproducts, I mentioned that already. We were under the MCL for all 4 quarters, so we are no longer under administrative order by the EPA. Adam and I, from RCAP Solutions, we got out in, last month, did 5 days of GPS locating. 153 hydrants, 227 valves, 412 curb stops have been located thus far. 38 curb stops that are inoperable due to damage, and he highlighted those on the program, so they have a different character on the program, so they stick right out. The curb stops due to damage, mostly plows, some mowers. 4 inline valves that are buried so far. We've found have to be actually accessed. Fiscal location, we are 2 parcels away on Weather Wax to take a right on Snyder's Corners Road. We've done Quail Meadows, and we'll head up Snyder's Corners Road and get the roads to the right, and head right on out to 66 and then out the end of Snyder's Corners. We'll be done. Hopefully, if the ground stays clear, we'll be able to wrap it up. You know, this it won't be this year, obviously, but within the first quarter of 25. So, something that happened again. It was like towards the beginning of the month, and I could have put it in last month, but I wanted to thank DJ's team for doing the service on the truck in November. They put in a battery, new resonator, muffler, brakes, rotors, and the truck came back clean. And like I was saying to Tom, I said I was looking for a little paper match you get from the dealership. They did a really good job. Good DJ, and I want to thank Brett for working the schedules. That Rob was out due to his eye surgery. Rob's eye surgery went really well. It's so well that he took the Thanksgiving holiday shifts. And he is enjoying life without wearing glasses. So that's about it from the water department. Any questions?
Chuck, thank you very much for your excellent work and reports. Thank you. Okay, building inspector's report. Tracy provided a basic report. Building Department Code Enforcement Officer, MS4 officers continue to assist residents, builders, and other municipalities. The Building Department has been issuing building permits as requested. Before required inspections that follow. The MS4 office continues to coordinate with the Department of Environmental Conservation as well as the Army Corps for current concerns with the town of Poestenkill. Code Enforcement Office was dispatched on November 19, 2024 through 26 with the Poestenkill Fire Department to the 200 block of New York 355 for a large unattended brush fire. And the town of Poestenkill will continue to be represented by polite, efficient, and professional manner. Thank you, Tracy. Door control report. I've talked with Bob several times. He has forwarded over to me a sample contract with another town in order to firm up the situation with Creekside Kennel to make sure we got that locked in case Bob needs to store a dog over a couple nights. And I talked to the people, Vicky, up at Creekside Kennel, and they are very enthusiastic about getting and working with the town of Poestenkill. And the highway superintendent's report is included in your packets. These 2 pages of work that he has done. And again, I compliment the team on the fantastic job that they have done over the Thanksgiving weekend and the following weekend with snow removal.
Can I just get that? Thank you for helping us out with the dry hydrant. We really appreciate that.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you.
Well, not good.
Okay, brings us to the next item of budget transfers, which David had read off and gone through. And now we have payment of bills.
I move that we pay a general bill of $102,694.16.
Second. Thank you, Eric. All those in favor of paying the general bills? Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining?
I move that we pay the highway bills of $105,287.84.
I'll second that motion. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining?
I move that we pay water number one, water district number one, $1,310.44.
I'll second.
Thank you, Frank. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining?
And for water district number two, $30,550.43.
I'll second that motion. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Thank you very much. David, thank you for reading that. Okay, public comment period. Okay. Thank you very much. That concludes the regular session of tonight's meeting. And now moving into executive session, I do thank you once again for coming out tonight and participating. And for those at home who watched, we thank you very much.
Merry Christmas, Happy
Merry
New Year.
Christmas.